Some of the content of Patriots Unfiltered may not be suitable for all audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
The world's original podcast.
Welcome to Patriots Unfiltered.
Having beaten a really good team in the what's the name of them?
Houston, Texas.
I was going to call them,
you forgot their
I was about to call them the Texas Rangers.
But at some point, maybe the Patriots defense will get talked about like some of these other great defenses do.
Oh, here we go. Do I have
They wouldn't let 'em get the four.
give a little lesson here?
Can you save it?
First, I'd like to express my condolences to Evan. We know his feelings on a team making the conference championship game and having to pick at the end of the first round. He doesn't like that. No, he doesn't like that. That was a wild game. It led to a white knuckler.
Yeah, I clocked one thing too. Clocked it.
Yeah.
Noticed it.
Track.
Sorry, but track.
it's more about motivation with him than it is.
Inspiration.
Yeah, sure.
You're not gonna motivate it. You're gonna inspire them.
Whatever.
So, Evan, if EPA
Really crazy.
was a person, what would EPA look like?
Smart.
Round
Yeah,
glasses.
like some kid from MIT.
Round glasses,
You know.
supercuts, haircut. Does Evan still think it's too soon to play in the AFC Championship game? Are we setting the franchise back for years to come like the Commanders did?
This is Patriots Unfiltered.
Presented by Toyota's official website for deals, buyatoyota.com.
All right, welcome to Patriots Unfiltered. It is cold Wednesday here at Gillette Stadium, and it's going to get colder. All eyes are on the weather forecast for travel plans, especially coming back after the AFC Championship win.
Some weather coming in here.
You stepped on my line after the AFC Championship win.
Oh, Evan.
Thank you.
My fault. I did that. That was me.
Yeah.
I'm just glad that we can now predict. Yesterday I wasn't as comfortable saying things like
it's
that. Now I feel better.
Evan not in his usual seat. It's Paul because Deuce is sick.
Deuce not handling the postseason well.
He's got something going on with his stomach, and we told him to get the hell out of here because I can't get sick. So he went home. We sent Deuce home. But the three of us will hold it down, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The team needs you, Fred.
Yeah.
So we can't have you be sick.
We won't have a nervous Nelly
When do
here.
you have to go? Do you have to go?
Yeah, 1 o'clock.
Okay.
1
So,
o'clock.
You know what that means, Fred? A
Me and you.
lot of arguing in
A
the
lot of
second
arguing.
hour.
But we'll have Mike Vrabel at about 1:10.
We will.
He
And
can
then
break
we have
up
some,
the fight.
We have some other guys going to the podium today too, right?
We do.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
some players.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's a little different field here this week, obviously, because it's the AFC Championship build-up week. And, you'll see when Vrabel comes to the presser, he'll have a different background because, the league has to come in now and run things a little bit.
Yeah, they set up the table in the back usually with like the NFL
So now
Network
it's not
feed.
just, hey, Mike, it's Mike, Evan Lazar from Patriots.com.
Hey.
Everyone has to announce themselves. Now, is that asked? Are they asked to do that, or do the media just decide that I'm going to do that because more people are watching?
That is definitely less and less common, I
Is
would
it?
say. Especially when it's just like the local, like he knows who all of us are. So
Well, I know.
like there's no reason for us to introduce ourselves. But yeah, no, I very rarely hear that. The only time that I maybe hear it is if it's like a national guy or a road team person or something like that he wouldn't be familiar with.
No, but like what I'm saying is, like this week in particular,
Oh, they make them do that?
I don't know, but let's see. I think they start doing it this
So
week.
it's going to be like Karen Griggy in
Yeah.
Mass Live?
Yeah.
And he's going to be like, yeah, hi.
Yeah, hi.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know.
So, like, I don't know if the league asks the media to do it this week. They certainly do it, during the Super Bowl, like
Yeah.
at the commissioners thing. Everybody does it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it is a request from the league. I don't know, to your point,
Yeah.
though, if it stretches as far as this week. There used to be a lot more, nationally with the conference title games. I feel like that's kind of dialed back.
Okay, I don't know.
Do you feel that way? Do you
Well,
remember?
we haven't been in it for so long, so I don't know.
It's been a long
Good
6
flex.
years.
Good flex, bro. This is 16th trip to the conference championship game
Yes,
for the Patriots.
in franchise history, yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Tied for the most.
I think it's tied for the second most ever.
Oh, I thought it was the most.
Who's
behind
got the most?
San Francisco.
I thought Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Maybe
I think the
most
I think
AFC championship games. ever.
AFC
Yeah.
tied with Pittsburgh. I think the most is San Francisco with 19. But the first part of the dynasty, Freddie, I remember they used to have some of those. I don't know if they were like synced up. They would have the teams kind of go back to back. There was a lot of timing involved with NFL Network, backdrops, and all kinds of.
Yeah.
I think there was more
Pomp and
sort of.
circumstance.
Yeah.
Well, if you recall,
And then they had to make a trip to Pittsburgh in 01.
Right.
And then they made a big deal of it. They actually, I think Brady, Belichick,
it's like a Lawyer Malloy.
actually flew to Pittsburgh on the Friday, and then they came back.
It was weird.
So they could fly back to as a team.
The
That's
league would
crazy.
make the visiting team go to the city and do press conferences the Friday before the game.
I'm
which
glad
was
that doesn't
just
happen
nonsense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
I feel
only-
like the first three had more national imprint than the first three Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Than the last three Super Bowls.
I wonder how much of that is just like how accessible these press conferences are now.
Yeah.
That you probably don't need to do that
Right.
as much. But the only difference is really for this week are that some of the players are going to go talk at the podium, which they normally don't do. So Stephon Diggs, for example, today will be at the podium instead of his locker in a scrum. And then Drake May has to talk twice, and Vrabel has to talk 3 times.
Right.
So that is different.
Vrabel has one extra press conference on Thursday that he doesn't normally do. And I think Evan's right. I think that's what the league now does is, give me some players at the podium, give me an extra day of May and Vrabel. And that's it rather than, sync. Do you remember what I'm talking about? Because I don't have the details of it. But I could swear that NFL Network sort of coordinated. Belichick starts at like 12,
Right.
and then at 12:15 it goes to
I think you
Bill
might be
Cowher.
right.
I'm
You know,
pretty
when they
positive
play
that they will
Pittsburgh.
carry the press conference today on
Yeah.
NFL Network. So I'm sure the timing had to have worked out. But this is Vrabel's normal time. So maybe it's just the case is that the Denver 2-hour difference and all that, it might have just lined up that they could do it normally.
Well, speaking of stuff going on, I want to get this out of the way while everyone's listening because some people might tune out. But
why
in Denver, for the fans, on Saturday night, there's a lot going on at a place called Jackson's Lido, which is in Denver. It's a bar. And starting at 4:30, it's sort of like a fan rally. Now, this is local time. This isn't Eastern time. This is Denver time I'm referring to. Starting at 4:30, come on down. It's free. There'll be David Andrews will be there. Adam Vinatieri will be there. All
Fred
kinds
Kirsch.
of
Evan
giveaways.
Lazar?
We'll be in the air.
Oh, never mind.
All kinds of giveaways, and then at 5:00 local time, there'll be a live all access show from Jackson's Lido, and that'll be from 5 to 6. And then once the show is over, then the festivities continue with the giveaways and all that, and David Andrews and Adam Vinatieri and all that. So you want to come down. I know Ann Stone in Pikes Peak Pats Club, I'm sure will be there in force. So that should be really good, starting at 4:30 local time in Denver, going to about 6:30. And, of course, people will stay beyond that as well. But that's the place to be, Jackson's Lido in Denver. And I have another one. Tom out of London writes in, and he's got, let me see if I have the most recent email from him. I hope it is. If it isn't, he'll call. But he's getting everyone together in London at the Goldwood Sports Pub in London, which is situated right near Bank Station. So he's got a whole bunch of things going on over there.
Bloody hell was that?
So, his group was also there at the Greenwood a couple years ago when we were at the Greenwood. That was a huge event. So that'll be a good place to watch the game as well if you're in London at the Goldwood Sports Pub out there near Bank Station. So if anyone has any other things going on in their area,
Send them in. Let
yeah,
us know.
call in, write in, let us know, and we'll get the word out on the show.
We're going to get the word out. We back.
Huh?
We're going to get the word out that we back.
We back.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. So with that out of the way, what do we got? What are we talking about?
Well, I think we're turning the page, right? Turn the page, and we can get into a little bit about the Broncos. I mentioned some of the injuries before we started the show. Matt Collins, is he going to practice today? Are they going to open his window? And then, of course, Carlton Davis, probably in the concussion protocol. So those will be two guys we'll be watching for here. And then there's also a lot going on injury-wise, of course, outside the quarterback position with Denver, too. A couple of their receivers, their center situations kind of up in the air right now. J.K. Dobbins, potentially coming back and making a difference. So there's some guys that are banged up that we're still kind of figuring out if they're going to be available on Sunday.
I didn't realize that Dobbins was having as productive a season as he was. He's a good player. I knew he was a good player, but they ran the ball significantly better when he ran it than anybody else. 5 yards a carry is that's a pretty solid average. The Harvey kid's only 3.7.
Yeah, he's much more of a passing game player, Harvey, and I think that's we kind of talked about this a little bit on Catch 22. Like when you have a backup quarterback, you don't want him to drop back 50 times like they did on Sunday with Bo Nix, like that, or Saturday. I keep saying that. Like, you don't want that to be your game plan. But they haven't really been able to run the ball since Dobbins has gotten hurt. So does he come back and now all of a sudden they have this run game again?
They got to give it a
not
shot,
against
though,
this
don't
defense.
they? But don't they have to give that a shot?
Absolutely.
Like if there's any possibility, and I know it's not an ideal situation because he's been out a while. It's not like
and with a Liz Frank injury.
It's not like he missed 4 weeks and his window opened like Matt Collins today. He's been out since like November. He's been out a while. I think it was November 10th he went out. So not an ideal situation, but I think given everything Evan just said about what Sean Payton's probably thinking about Jarrett Stidham, I think you got to roll the dice, and even if he's 75%, is it worth it for us to activate him and see if he can give us some magic in the run game?
Yeah, they only had 10 carries by running backs in the divisional round. Bo Nix ran it 12 times, I think. Had a bunch of sneaks and scrambles in there. They don't really have a run game without Dobbins. I just can't imagine that's how they're going to want to play with Stidham. I'm sure they're going to want to try to balance it out.
They're probably going to want, and they should anyway, even if Bo Nix was there. But a lot of people are catching on to what I've been saying in that this is going to be a tough game. I've heard more people, they must have been listening to the show because more of the media analysts are saying, no, this is going to be a tough game for the Patriots.
I have an off-air theory about that, but I'm not going to share it.
Okay, all right.
It does behoove the media to hype up the game so people pay attention to it.
There's one.
That's absolutely true. But I think that the part that I'm trying to figure out is there a path for Denver to win a straight-up football game? Not one where Drake May turns it over 5 times.
Right.
And if any team turns the ball over 5 times, they're probably going to lose. Right? That's like, everybody knows that. I'm talking about a conventional run-of-the-mill, or let's just say the turnover margin's even, kind of like it was on Sunday against the Texans.
Well, the turnover margin wasn't even in that game.
Or the opportunities for turnovers.
Well, one of your guys was on one of Paul's shows this morning, and Mark Daniels, and he was saying that this game is really about what the Patriots do or don't do.
It's about the Patriots.
It's about the Patriots. I disagree.
So I disagree with that, too. I'm with you on this.
Sure. Obviously, if Drake May plays lights out or has the game he had last, yes.
And so what does that mean for Denver?
Well, how good is Denver's defense playing?
That means the Denver's defense didn't play well.
Possibly, yeah.
So,
right.
Fred and I, we're lockstep on this, and we've talked about this for years. Everybody always says that. It's well, if they play well, they'll win. Well, that means the other team didn't play well.
Right.
It's pretty simple. There's no way Denver played as well as they can play if Drake May goes out and throws 4 touchdowns and 350 yards.
Sure.
Their defense is going to look and say, Patrick Surtain's going to say, I didn't play well today.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's not just about you.
No. There's another team on the field that wants it just as much as you do. And my point in this game is that the other team that wants it just as much as you do is a good team with a good coach. You combine those two things, and oftentimes they overcome the adversity like losing their quarterback. So just be careful about that, folks. Just, when it's a tight game in the second quarter, don't freak out.
I want Evan to finish his point about the path to a straight-up victory.
Yeah, so I'm trying to think, because, obviously you could sit here and say, if Jarrett Stidham manages the game offensively and the defense does its thing for Denver, they can win the game. But even that, I still feel like I'm still hoping that Jared Stidham makes some hero ball plays at the end of the game that Drake May doesn't. Which, like, if I'm Denver, I don't think that that's happening, right? So, like, I have a tough time imagining a Denver win if the game is conventional, not a turnover fest type game. And
I
so,
hear you. And I happen to agree with you.
I just don't know where they go. And, just trying to get ready for this game on our end, like researching it and stuff. The only thing that makes me anxious about it is that there's so little Jared Stidham tape. And it's like, how is Sean Payton going to call the offense? What plays are they going to run? What kind of offense are they going to be? Like, what's their philosophy? Are they going to be able to run the ball? The thing I keep coming back to is this is the best offensive line the Patriots have faced the entire playoffs by a wide margin. They have 2 first-team All-Pros on their offensive line. If I'm Denver, like, that's how I'm trying to win this game. We're going to win it with a run game. We're going to protect Jared Stidham. We're going to keep him clean, and we'll take our chances with him from clean pockets. So can the Patriots continue to dominate the line of scrimmage like they have the first 2 weeks against a much, much better offensive line?
Yeah. I mean, Vrabel said that, in the past, he's done a lot of work on Jared Stidham. Like, he's fairly familiar with him to the degree that you can because he doesn't have a lot of pro tape. But in terms of, what he did in college, what he's done in the pros, he feels like he's pretty familiar with him.
So I think he's got, just on Stidham, he's got arm talent. I don't think that this is a guy that, is incapable of pushing the ball down the field. I don't think he's a statue, but I don't think he's mobile either. He's somewhere in between those two things. So from a Bo Nix to Jared Stidham.
Better or worse runner than Joe Burrow?
Worse.
Okay.
But from Bo Nix to Jared Stidham, the biggest difference is that Bo Nix is an athlete. So Bo Nix can run around not only by design, but he also runs around and extends plays with his legs. So to me, like, most of that kind of gets thrown out. Now, I think Jared Stidham can still roll out the pocket. Like, I'm sure that they can still run their bootleg plays and stuff like that with him, which is a big part of their offense. Yeah. But you're not going to get the scrambles. You're not going to get Bo Nix bouncing around back there and buying time. You're not going to get that whole thing that they've really relied a ton on offensively.
But do we know that for sure?
Yes.
Because, like, when have we really seen him? I don't know. Like,
he's Bo Nix, I think that's his best part of his game.
Well, I know Bo Nix.
Whether or not a guy can run, you don't need to see him play in the pros. Like, if a guy comes out of college as a scrambling off-platform kind of, Patrick Mahomes, I didn't need to see him play for the Chiefs to know that he could do that.
Yeah.
And he did it at Texas Tech.
I just think that that's also something that Bo Nix, trying to give him some credit, Bo Nix does at a very, very high level.
Yeah.
He is a very nimble athlete. He throws from different platforms, arm angles. He's got a nice release on the move. Like, he's very good at that. And there's no way that Stidham's going to be able to replicate it at that level.
I like your Joe Burrow thing, Fred, that you threw out there, like, better,
Yeah.
And I think because I think Joe Burrow is a much better athlete than he's ever always given credit for.
He's a smart runner.
I think he is a good runner with the ball. I like the way Evan also described it. Like, he's not a statue, but he's not Bo Nix. Like, he's somewhere in the middle there. I think they will be able to do the Sean Payton rollouts with him. I think he has shown some ability to throw the ball on the run, and he will tuck it and run it when he. So there's one game that he played in that, if you want to get yourself all in Fred's camp and be all scared,
He played well.
go back and look at a game when he was on the Raiders. Late in the season, they played a game against the Niners. The Niners were loaded at the time. Evans Niners with Kyle Shanahan. They were a 12-4 team. And he gave the Niners all they could handle. That was a really good defense. He threw for well over 300 yards. He also ran for about 40 yards in that game. So he's not a statue. He can move around. There's a highlight clip that I watched earlier in the week where he's rolling out, throwing on the run, throwing off platform, doing some things. Now, I also think the receivers were wildly open in that game. So I don't know if San Francisco just didn't play well that day, if there was some fluky plays that the Raiders made, but If you want to get yourself scared, like Fred,
Well, listen,
go and watch that, and then
I'm not
you can say
scared. What I'm trying to do is help fans avoid the trap game. The Patriots,
fans don't need to do that.
yes, they do.
No, they
The
don't.
Patriots, I'm not worried about them falling into the
It's the
trap.
AFC
I'm
Championship
worried
game.
about the fans falling into the trap. This could be a trap
Yeah.
game for Patriots fans.
Yeah, I don't worry about the fans' mindset going
I
into
do.
games.
I do.
It doesn't really
Listen.
impact the game.
In 2018 in Minnesota on the Not Done Network, I sat there and said, there is no way that Nick Foles will win this game.
But that's a different. That was totally
so you
different.
think that had something to do with losing?
I'm just saying I fell into the trap.
I didn't even think of that.
I fell into the trap.
So what?
I fell into the trap.
But we all listen. We're all asked to talk about these games and make predictions, right?
I hate the predictions part.
We all make bad predictions. If we all
I know.
I say all the time, if I
But
knew
you
what
try
was
to
going
avoid them.
But if I knew what was going to happen in these games, I would have resigned long ago,
I
and
know.
I'd be making my living.
I know.
In Vegas.
I'm just trying to help people avoid making bad choices.
I agree
here.
with Evan. If this game is even, in other words, there's no turnovers in this game. 0-0. I'm not even going to say like 2-2 because now I need to know what the turnovers result in. Do the Patriots 2 turnovers result in touchdowns for the Broncos, and the Patriots 2 result in nothing? So I'm just saying no one turns the ball over. I do not see a path that the Broncos can win this game. If the Patriots go and just protect the football, and play regular offense, they will move the ball against this defense and score more than enough points that Jarrett Stidham will not be able to catch up. I saw someone in Denver say, best case scenario, Denver gets to 17. That's not going to be enough to win this game unless the Patriots offense continues to be sloppy with the ball the way they have been in the first 2 playoff games. I don't think that will continue. Now, I didn't think it would continue the last game, and it did. So, again, we all make bad predictions.
Yep.
But I have a lot of confidence that the Patriots offense will look more like it did in the regular season and less like it has in the playoffs in this game.
Yeah. Weather report so far is
Supposed to get cold.
pretty cold, but dry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
Sunny.
I saw that kind of change. It was supposed to be pretty mild in
Yeah.
Denver,
Yeah.
and now I just saw someone sent me something this morning saying it was going to be really, really cold.
Like 30s. Not
Oh, I
that's
heard.
not-
I heard like
Well,
teens.
Oh, I don't
It
think
depends
so.
on what time you're looking at it.
Yeah.
When the sun goes
Because
down
it's a-
in Denver,
remember,
And I don't know who this is from. So
Remember, it's a 1:00 local time kickoff, so it's going to be right. The game's going to be right in the middle of the day, so it's not
right.
I thought I saw like 35.
Yeah, so I'm seeing highs of 30s, lows of 15.
right, but the low is going to be at night.
The question is when are the lows? So now I'm going to my hourly part of my app
This is great.
because there is an app for this.
Should have like a song.
So
for
the
this.
game starts locally at 1:00, right?
Yes, sir.
It'll be 28 degrees at that time, and it will get no lower than 24, according to this. But that's
Yep.
colder than it was 2 days ago.
It was.
So
it
let's
was.
see. You
I
know?
think it's dry, which is good. And then obviously you I don't know about the patterns in the stadium, but wind I think is a big part. I think the wind really influenced both quarterbacks in the Chargers game and the wild card round game. I think the wind was an issue. So we'll see what happens with that. But the Denver defense is a very different test than the one that they just faced. Like Houston is more of like a structured defense. Like we kind of run our scheme and we're sound and we have great players within the scheme and that sort of thing. This defense is much more aggressive and they cook it up a lot more. They blitz a lot more. They spin the dial a lot
So
more.
Sully, the diehard Patriots fan, says, there's a lot of chatter out there that Stidham is good enough to win this game, and I'm not buying it. He's with Paul. Let's flip the script. What chance would Bronco fans feel the Patriots would have against them with Nick's healthy and we had to start Josh Dobbs? I can hear the laughter all the way in Virginia from
none.
Denver.
I would give the Patriots very little shot to win that game too.
But is Dobbs as good as Stidham?
I think it might be better.
You think so?
I mean, his NFL
more
resume
experienced.
is definitely more extensive.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I couldn't tell you because
By the
I
way,
really.
I did find that weather thing that I saw, and it doesn't necessarily say temperature. It says woof. This is true Arctic stuff for this weekend for Denver, Eastern Colorado. Going to be brutally cold for the AFC title game this weekend. This is from a guy named Chris Bianchi. Bianchi weather. I don't know if that's like he's a like a
Local
real
guy.
meteorologist
Bianchi weather.
or
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Like he does it on his own.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
And we'll see. But also, Sully said 2 years off, not facing NFL regular season game speed, not being all that familiar with the receivers, and Josh McDaniels' intimate familiarity with Stidham and his game are a major problem for the Broncos, and it doesn't seem anyone is really giving credence to them. I mean, they're all good points.
What? No one's giving credence to. I think that's all we're talking about, right? Is it?
Well, I think
So
is his
before, see,
inexperience.
this is I knew that, but as the week went on, somehow they would try to make it out to be like again the little engine that could. So they're a 5.5-point favorite on the road in the AFC title game. Never has a road team been a bigger favorite in a conference championship game.
Really?
Period. As you kids like to say, that's it. That's the tweet.
That's
End tweet.
really.
Never has a team
Never.
been this big of a road favorite. There's been
Right.
Patriots have had AFC Championship games here that they've been bigger favorites in. Never has a team been favored by more than 5.5 points on the road in a conference championship game. That's how much people are giving Jarrett Stidham a chance. They're not. People aren't giving Jarrett Stidham a chance to win this game.
I think
except
they're crazy.
for Fred.
That's right. You watch. You know. Listen to me. I've helped a lot of you all season long. Don't stop listening now. Don't stop listening. Will the Patriots win? Yeah. I'm giving away my pick.
The part about Mark Daniels that I would agree with is if the Patriots lose the game, it's going to have more to do with the Patriots than Denver. That I will agree with. And I always give a team a puncher's chance to win the game, but it's what Evan said. Evan articulated it perfectly. If you go out there and you're sloppy with the ball and you give the other team points, you know, maybe Marvin Mims returns a punt for a touchdown. Marvin Mims is almost as dangerous as Marcus Jones as a punt returner.
Yeah.
They're both very, very good. But to me, that's you breaking
you have
down.
to cooperate.
Yeah, that's you breaking down for that to happen.
Yeah. I don't know. I think with Stidham too, like I also just give a lot of credence to how good the Patriots defense is playing right now.
Yep.
And you know, I highly doubt that they're going to do anything really all that differently than what they probably would have done with Bo Nix in terms of like, I don't think they're going to outsmart themselves and go away from what's been working with their defense and with the game plans that they've been running. I fully expect them to come after him just like they came after Stroud and they came after Herbert. And this is a guy that hasn't seen a live rush in the NFL in 2 years. Yeah. So like, you know, I think is more. It's just as much about that to me as it is about Stidham individually.
I want to keep talking about that in a second, but I just this is what I get back to. It's like how the Patriots defense is playing so far in the playoffs. I think that's a great point. I also would look at how Denver's defense has played down the stretch and their one playoff game. It's not the same defense that played the first half of the year.
That's true.
And if they were playing Houston's defense again this week,
then
I would go with all your, hey, don't eliminate their chances with Jarrett Stidham, because I agree with you, Fran. I think you said this yesterday. He's probably going to play better than C.J. Stroud did.
Well, yeah.
Because you can't play any worse than that.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, there was a reason why that was his historically bad performance in the playoffs. So if the Broncos defense steps forward and plays like they did, say, maybe in week 2, you know, who knows? Right. And, you know, we're going to go with trends, right? We're talking about how well the Patriots defense has played. I agree with you, Ev. Talking about, you know, how sort of mid the Broncos defense has been lately. Maybe the Patriots offense continues to play like it has in the postseason.
Yeah.
I don't think that will happen. So you might say, oh, what a homer fraud. And I'd be guilty of that. I've watched Drake May all year. I don't think he's going to fumble 4 more times.
They feel kind of due to have a better offensive game.
Yeah.
You know,
and again, that might be me being a homer. Yeah. I'm okay with that.
They do feel kind of due for that. And, you know, I think that if I was the Patriots, though, like with Stidham, I think that you play this game and you just throw the kitchen sink of disguises at him. And you just, nothing's the same as the last play. You know, I think you need to mix up your coverages, mix up your shells, you know, 2 high, 1 high, man zone. I would probably play a little bit more zone in this game than they have been because I want eyes on the quarterback, because I think he's going to he might throw you a couple if you see it coming. I'd also test like when you play zone, now the receiver and the quarterback have to be on the same page. Like I'm sitting here, I'm cutting there, and he hasn't really repped with these receivers a whole lot because he's been the backup.
It's like the emailer said. Yeah, I agree with them.
So I think all these things that I'm describing are all things they've been doing.
What's more likely, game's over by halftime, or it comes down to the last possession?
Game's over by halftime.
So the Patriots usually run away in the third quarter. So that's like it
was 21-10 at the half Sunday.
That's true, but that's not over.
Oh, to me it is.
I know, but
Well, it got to 21-16, didn't it?
I know.
So
it wasn't over.
I know it's like not nod over. But
It was over when Kayshon Boutte caught that touchdown. That
was the nod.
Yeah.
But I would, you know what I'm saying, Fred? Like when they were up 21-10 at the half, you didn't think there was much of a chance they were going to lose.
No,
but it's not over. Absolutely.
Whenever I've watched these games for a long time. Whenever the Patriots defense is playing really well, and I go back to the first part of the dynasty, 03-04, and even that last Super Bowl that they won, when the defense is playing well, I have a sense of calmness.
What would the score need to be?
Because I know that,
I'm the opposite.
when it's back and forth like other games, then I have the white knuckles. But when the Patriots defense is playing well, I have a lot of confidence.
What would the score need to be for you guys?
Opposite.
You'll just be nervous the whole time?
No, I when it's a defensive game like that, all it takes is one touchdown.
I need 3 scores, and I'll be good.
A 3-score lead at halftime, and you'll say that's the definition of over.
Because they're going to be one-dimensional second half, and we're going to tee
I
off.
just always worry.
Now we're thinking if we're up, say, 21-7 at the half, Jarrett Stidham's going to lead a 14-point second half comeback. Like, I'm sorry, the game's over.
Let's just say that they deferred. They get if they go down the field second half, and now it's 21-14. Game on. All it takes is one turnover.
Again,
all it takes is
I know. I know technically the game will not be over. There's still enough possessions left.
I need 3 scores.
Well,
please.
I don't know if they're down 3 scores and Denver gets the ball and goes down and scores. Now it's only 2 scores, and if they fumble and they run it back, and
by that time becomes a factor. And they get urgent, they get antsy.
Yeah, I just think if you get a lead in this game, it's game, set, match.
Any lead?
Pretty much.
See,
if you make them chase the way everybody's had to chase the Patriots in the 2025 season, the backup quarterback is not going to do that.
Yeah,
it's not.
I'm like, maybe it's just because I tend to favor the offense a little bit more, and Deuce isn't here to offset me. But like, when it's like the game, like the Charger game, like all it takes is one Quentin Johnson bomb.
So I would agree with you. That game was unnerving throughout the second half.
Right.
I felt the Patriots were in control, but you're right, Ev.
Yeah.
Like when it's 9-3, all it takes is one guy falling down.
Right. The guy falls down, busted coverage. Quentin Johnson gets over the top. Cortland Sutton mosses the guy. Like all it takes is one of those types of things happening in a game like that. When the Patriots offense is cooking and Drake May is putting points on the board, that's when I feel like they're not going to lose today. And we haven't seen that yet in the playoffs. And I do kind of feel like he's a little bit due for that kind of game.
Yeah, I like it.
I hope it happens.
I'm with Evan a lot on these kinds of scenarios, because when it's sort of a shootout, you always feel like, like I was watching the Buffalo Denver game, and as Buffalo's like moving the ball and then taking the lead, like you never once did you think like, oh, that's it. They got, they just came from 13 points down. They got the lead now. The game's over. No, you figured it's the NFL. The other team's going to get the ball. They're going to go down and score. And then when Denver went down and scored, never did I think, well, that's it. There's only a minute left. They're up.
Right.
No, like it's one of those offensive games that you're never going to feel like it's over until you can control the ball and the clock. Right?
Yeah.
Whereas those defensive games, all it takes is one play to dramatically impact the outcome.
Paul in the Colony says, as bad as Drake May played and as little offense that we had, the Patriots still drove the field 3 times, made 3 great plays to score touchdowns. It's not like the Texans completely shut them down. I have confidence that we will be able to outscore the Broncos.
So that's really not correct. The Patriots in that game had 248 yards of offense. That's not driving. That's not good. My guess is that's the lowest total they had all year. 248 yards of offense.
It's good against that defense. So
but I'm saying, like, let's not make this out to be anything more than it was. The Texans defense dominated Patriots offense
100%.
in the game. I think what did we say, 6 or 7 3-and-outs?
Yeah.
Like
100%.
the Patriots I'll give Drake May and the 3 receivers that caught the 3 touchdowns credit for those 3 individual plays. They did not drive the field with any degree of consistency. I think they'll be much better this week in Denver.
They had the one
Better.
one that ended with Diggs' touchdown was the one kind of drive that they were able to string some passes together. They hit those slants to booty.
Slants, yeah.
It was literally slant all the way down the field. And then, I give them credit for the backed up drive too in the fourth quarter. I mean, chewing off 6 minutes of the clock there was big.
That's where a lot of the yards came from.
Yeah.
They probably moved the ball 50 yards on that drive.
It was a big drive.
And it was kind of, game over at that point. But I agree with you, and that's the one that Vrabel called it, a real classy drive.
It was classy.
Evan said it yesterday. I don't care about how many yards you run for, but can you run when you have the lead in the fourth quarter and you're trying to just grind the clock out? And they did.
Speaking of running the ball, Michelle, who loves it when I call her Shalata, said I watched the Bills Broncos, and even though we don't have a James Cook at running back who ran for 117 yards, it looked to me like the Broncos had a somewhat leaky run defense. Can we expect a decent run game, or was it merely Cook being so freaking good? Oh, and the circus apparently made a pit stop in Buffalo today.
We should talk about that later.
Yeah.
The run game, spoiler, this is what my preview will be a lot about. I think it's that kind of game.
I got to read that. I forgot.
You do. Yeah, actually, I was going to mention that.
It's all about that.
It's definitely that kind of game. They are, if there's one sort of weakness, it's not necessarily there in the stats, but they are a little bit undersized defensively, especially on the defensive line. Their defensive line is definitely more built to rush the passer than it is to stop the run. I think the guy that out of the guys that they play, DJ Jones is 305. He's the biggest guy that they have. Zach Allen is a 280, 290, kind of defensive tackle. Nick Bonito and Jonathan Cooper on the smaller side as well. Their numbers against the runner have been good all year. It's not like a Buffalo situation where they're great against the pass and horrible against the run. But in a matchup like this, I would agree that getting Drake May under center, running the football, maybe running it out of some of those 6-0 line packages, and then trying to open up the passing game with play action. That seems to be the formula that Buffalo used, and I think the Patriots can come close enough. They don't have Buffalo's offensive line. They don't have James Cook, but their run game has been good enough down the stretch here that I think that they can pretty much replicate it.
Barton Poland has some troubling news.
Yeah.
He says, since the merger, playoff home underdogs of 4+ points are 9-0 against the spread. But
that is correct.
But what are they in overall?
Yeah, I think
Something in
spreads
1975 happened.
I think spreads this big. They're 2-3. The favorite is 2-3 overall.
So they still have a losing record.
Yeah, it's rare to be this big of an favorite on the road.
Yep.
Yeah,
at this time of year.
Because these are the two supposedly best teams left in the conference.
I think they are. If Bo Nix was healthy, I think they've been the two best teams all year in the AFC. I think they would be. He's just not healthy. So I don't know. Like, I know that there's going to be a lot to be made about what Bart just said. The Patriots' history in Denver. I don't really think any of that holds a lot of weight in this game.
It's not necessarily. I don't think the Patriots' history in Denver. I do think Denver's a tough place to play. Period.
Yeah.
Like for anybody, there's a reason why they win a lot of games at home, and it's not just because they're always better than the team that they're playing.
And they
always play at home.
Right.
So they're more used to it because they're always there.
Yep.
I wanted to ask Evan about because the sort of the knee-jerk thing is, well, you got not a young quarterback, but an inexperienced quarterback playing, heat him up. Patriots have been good at it. Do you have any concern that going after him and then not succeeding as much as they have doing that to the Chargers and the Texans because you're playing a really good offensive line might open up some possibilities? Or is it just we're going to disguise everything and try to confuse Stidham, and that's how we're going to do this?
Yeah, I go more towards the second one because my fear about and the when you look at the metrics too, like the Patriots, even in the Texans game, their 4-man pass rushes have not been very effective. And so that's even against two very bad offensive lines.
Right.
So if you go into this game against the Broncos and you're only rushing 4 guys against a good offensive line, I think he's going to have all day back there. And even though I don't think much of Jarrett Stidham, any quarterback in the NFL who has clean pockets and is playing basically, untouched like that, he's going to be able to make some throws if that's the situation. So maybe they get to it differently where they still maintain 6 or 7 guys in coverage, and there's different ways to do that. But I think that if you just try to rush 4 at this Broncos offensive line, I think you're going to have a tough time getting pressure on Stidham.
Yeah, I was thinking more in terms, and you might be right, and that was, certainly makes a lot of sense the way you put that. I was wondering if maybe you just try to confuse him with the coverage.
Yeah, you could do that and try to get him to hold the ball. Yeah, you could definitely try to do that, and maybe that is the cat and mouse of it all, where they think we're going to blitz because we have been blitzing, so we start not blitzing, but then we blitz in the second half to kind of close it out, or vice versa. That's sort of the chess match.
Maybe you run one of those stunts, or maybe you try to do something to dial up pressure on a spot, and maybe the Broncos just a little bit better than the Texans, and they get enough of a guy, and they give him a second, and all of a sudden you give him an easy throw. That would be my concern. Don't make anything easy for him.
Yeah, I wonder, their starting center is just got designated to return. They opened his practice window, Wattenberg.
Oh, this is the original starter?
This is the original starter.
Oh.
He's a very...
This is what this is the man. This is what you're hoping for.
So
these guys to come off of IR and save their season.
So Alex Forsythe, who's their backup center, got hurt against Buffalo.
Yeah.
So they had to go to Mustafar, their third string center, who is in line to start on Sunday, unless the original center, who was having a very good year before he got hurt, unless he can play in the game. He has a shoulder injury, and they designated him to return from injured reserve. So
tore it all in duct tape, Freddie.
If he doesn't play, or if he's half a shell of himself because he's hurt, center is certainly a place that you can target on this offensive line, and left guard is a little bit weaker. Their 2 tackles have been great, McGlinchey and Bowles. Their right guard is a first-team All-Pro 2 years in a row. So he's not a guy you want to mess with. But
all right. Oh, go ahead.
No, sorry. The rest of it, though, can Milton Williams and Christian Barmore, beat up the left guard and center? Maybe. Done.
All right.
Sorry.
The Patriots are still in it to win it. And if you're looking to maximize your at-home game day experience, look no further than Bob's Discount Furniture. Prep for the last playoff game of the season with winning watch party pieces like Bob's Renegade Power Reclining Sectional, which is not only built to comfortably seat your whole team, but has tons of game day friendly bells and whistles, just like in-charging ports, plenty of cup holders, and hidden storage for those halftime snacks. So stop in or shop online to style your home team headquarters with Bob's Discount Furniture, the official furniture store of the New England Patriots. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll open it up. We'll open up the lines. We've got Vrabel coming at 110, so a lot more to do here on Patriots Unfiltered. Whether you're in the game or betting on the game, you'll need a game plan. DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of the New England Patriots, provides you with everything you need to build your personal betting game plan so you can get in on all the action while practicing safe bets. Visit DraftKings.com/responsible-gaming to learn more about all the safe betting tools DraftKings has to offer. Hope is here, 800-327-5050 or gamblinghelplinema.org. Must be 21 plus. Play it smart from the start. GameSenseMA.com. Physically present in Massachusetts. See DraftKings.com/responsible-gaming for details and state-specific responsible gambling resources.
Isn't it time to get exactly what you want? Welcome to Red Hot Deal Days from Verizon, where you get your pick of our best deals. Like My Plan, where you can pick the perks you want and save on every one. For limited time, bring your own phones to a Verizon store and you can get My Plan for our best price ever. Get exactly what you want in your phone plan and only pay for what you need. Bring your phones to your Verizon store today and get My Plan. These deals won't last. It's your Verizon.
The heaviest metal credit card of all time. Wielded at business dinners like a samurai sword. It's a classic corporate power move. But the real power move? Having end-to-end visibility on your most critical shipments. FedEx, the new power move.
If you're gonna play the game, boy, you gotta learn to play it right.
DraftKings is all about responsible gaming. It's more fun when it's for fun. So play responsibly. DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction.
stands in, throws the long ball deep down the right side for Kayshon Boutte. Reaches out with the right hand, pulls it in. Touchdown! Patriots! A diving grab by Boutte. Good afternoon and welcome to Foxborough's Gillette Stadium for this AFC Divisional Playoff.
We all we got. We all we need.
That's all we need. Do this together. Dominate the line of scrimmage. The world versus us. You hear me? And it's the opportunity of a lifetime. Take advantage of it, bro. Yeah. Hey, go ahead talking today, man. Today about being aggressive and sticking together, and we're going to take what we want, man. Hey, I came to fight. I don't know about y'all, but I came to fight. From play 1 to play 9. Gang on 3, 1, 2, 3.
Patriots aggressive on 4th down. 3 to the left before Douglas motions to the right.
Nobody will pop.
2 receivers to the right, including Douglas. Mays looking that way. He's throwing down. Douglas makes the catch. Runs 5 to the 10, 5 into the end zone. Touchdown. Patriots.
Nobody will pop Douglas. Hey, best play is the what? Next play. Here we go. Hey, just keep doing our job. That's it. It's the only thing that matters.
The 1st and 10 for the Texans, working right to left from the far hash mark. C.J. Stroud, bootleg to the near side. Receiver found out, and Stroud goes it up in the air. Intercepted Marcus Jones. Right 20, 15, 10. Jones is tackled by Hutchinson. Takes him to the pylon. Touchdown! Patriots!
Look at it. It's nuts again. They're going nuts. And you gotta love it. Oh my God.
I was trying to yell at you to let me block for you. I was trying to get in front of the dude. I seen him. I was like, Mark. I was like, Mark, let me get in front. Keep
throwing the ball. They keep throwing the ball. Everybody keep it composed. Nobody said this was going to be easy. Just keep playing.
Now it's a 2nd down and 8. The snap, delayed handoff. Marks runs up the middle, ran into a teammate, lost his balance initially as he tried to carry to the right, and now he gets loose, but the ball comes free. Backed out by the Patriots, who have it.
The type of game it is. This is the type of game it is. We have to take the ball away. Take the ball away.
This is an identity quarter right here, right? Our identity versus theirs. All right, make sure that we do a great job with our identity.
Throws a long ball deep down the right side for Kayshon Boutte. Reaches out with the right hand, pulls it in. Touchdown! Patriots! A diving grab by Boutte.
One hand. Tell you, keep doing what you do. We're going to be that for you.
The Patriots win it over the Texans 28-16, having reached the AFC Championship game.
Good job, man. Great. Good zero. Great job. Great job, Marcus. I love you. You're good, baby.
And now, great moments in history.
The people that I had to listen to He's a system quarterback. It's all dink and dunk. He's an average. You know, those people are out there
Have
that
been disproven.
Those people.
Yes, in
they've gone
2002,
quiet.
That was disproven when he led the league in touchdown passes.
We
in
know
02.
that, but there's still people
but there
out
were
there
people
that said that.
would come after you the whole into 2015, 2016. That was what you had all the whole time.
He is really
he really is.
He's the wall.
He's those people.
He's on the wall.
I'm not. I don't care
He's
about
on
the
the
wall.
wall.
I don't care about the wall. I
Like
just
in
like watching football.
2015 and 2016, there wasn't a lot of people saying that. He's not that good. He's just a game manager.
Oh, you'd be
like
surprised.
that had gone away.
You'd be surprised. I really think. I mean, especially
in your echo
into
chamber,
2014.
I can imagine.
Yeah, I'm not surprised that you heard it.
Yeah.
I just don't think that was very prevalent.
Yeah.
I think there was like Max Kellerman's and
Eric Scalavinos.
I think that a lot of the game manager dink and dunk things went away for good in 07.
Yeah. Yes.
When he set all the records.
Right.
He showed you, I can do it your way.
Give me the
and I can
tools.
do it my way.
Right.
It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. I can do it whatever way I want.
Absolutely.
It's the same argument I used when I get into it on social media. But but look what now, Welker and Branch.
But I got to give him credit, though. Deuce, he finds them. And now he hates them.
That's another great moment from
All right, back here on Patriots Unfiltered. 855-PATS-500 is the hotline. It's Deuce. Not Deuce. Deuce is sick. He's got a stomach bug, in case you're late tuning in. We sent him home.
I love how our medical records just become public knowledge.
We don't want him infecting us.
He's got a big of a stomach bug.
Can you imagine if we let Deuce stay and if he goes to the locker room like he usually does and just gets the whole team sick? Oh, my God. That would be a disaster.
They all had the flu.
I know. Well, thank God it didn't come from us.
Yeah.
Okay. What was I
Want to
gonna
open
say?
it up?
Yeah, I'm going to open it up. I don't know if there was something I had.
I do have.
I'm interested to hear Paul's theory.
I have a scenario that the Broncos could win the game that wouldn't necessarily involve like a fluke, but I'll save it for a couple more minutes.
Okay. So let's go to the phones. We'll start with Herm in D.C. What's up, Herm?
What's going on, fellas?
Hey, Herm.
Fred, listen, I tell you like I tell my wife always, man, you worry too much, brother. You really do. Let's not overthink this. No, really, let's not overthink this, right? And so my point is not even that Stidham might be like a bad quarterback. I mean, he might be fine, but he hasn't taken a step in almost 3 years, and he has 7 days to prepare for a defense currently giving up 9.5 points per game. It's just not going to happen. It just won't.
Well, let me ask you a question, and I'll ask these guys too, is how much better do you think Bo Nix is than Stidham?
Oh.
Like, do you think Bo Nix is that great a quarterback that the loss is devastating?
Yes, especially the way Evan said it.
Yeah. And I don't think very highly of
Because
Bo
I think that if Bo Nix was still the starter, people would be saying he's not that good.
If Bo Nix was the starter, people would still think the Patriots were going to win the game.
Yes.
That's my whole point. Now you're just trying to prevent it from being overconfident because somehow that you impact the game by being too overconfident.
Okay.
I feel like I would feel like I would probably be saying Bo Nix isn't that good because I'd be worried that they were going to lose the game. So I would be trying to talk.
You'd be soft pedaling.
Yes.
But the way you talked about Bo Nix and how much they rely on him.
Yeah. At least
I'm sorry.
Recently, I should say.
The way he's asked to run the ball and make plays off platform and extend plays, he's an awful lot for a team that's really kind of limited offensively.
Yeah. He, I've been critical of Bo Nix because I think that he's wildly inconsistent even within games, but some of the throws he made late in that game against the Bills last week.
He's got some sand in his pants.
He does.
Were legit. The touchdown pass to Franklin, he threw one to Trotman up the seam. That was a great throw.
Yeah. My feeling on Bo Nix is not necessarily because of Bo Nix. I'm sorry if I can't tell a guy that hasn't ever really played in 7 years in the league is not that big of a drop off.
Thanks, Herm.
That's it's less about pro Bo Nix as it is just complete unknown for Jarrett Stidham.
Christian in L.A., what's up?
I love
that. Hey, you guys.
Heavy sigh, pause.
So the last time that the Patriots played Denver was the 2015 AFC Championship game, and I was at that game. I had won a Patriots app contest to fly to the game and stay on the same floor as the team. and I wound up having like a 15, 20-minute conversation with Mr. Kraft, and to this day, it's my sports, greatest sports memory.
How did you get by security? I don't know.
I actually got into a fight with the guy at security because I walked in and I was wearing my Patriots gear, and he said, "Good luck." And I'm a fiery guy, and I just snapped right away. What do you mean, good luck? You think we need luck to beat you? And I went off on the guy.
That day?
So I almost got into a fight. But football-wise, guys, the only way I see Denver making any big plays this week is going to be trick plays, fake punts, and pass interferences, which brought me to, like, if I'm Denver thinking about the game, who's the weak link on our team? For me, it seems like Carlton Davis is the most susceptible. If you match everything up and everything's even, getting those pass interferences down the field, probably late or things of that nature. And so I was wondering who you guys think is Denver's weak link and vice versa. And then I have the score 28-10, Patriots.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Thanks, Christian.
I mean, Carlton Davis,
he gets penalties.
He gets 3 penalties a game, and he makes 3 plays a game.
Yeah.
Like, it seems like that's definitely.
I think he's playing better in the playoffs than he did in the regular season.
Yeah.
But he even in the playoffs, he's gotten some penalties.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I hear what he's saying in terms of the pass interferences and stuff like that. I tend to think, and I know it didn't happen this way in overtime last week against Buffalo, but it's going to have to be a pretty egregious pass interference for them to decide games at this stage on things like that.
So do I sound that bad when I say the Broncos are incapable of making a play that's not a trick play or a pass interference?
Or a fake punt.
Or a fake punt. Do I sound that bad?
Yeah.
Because I don't mean to sound that bad. I expect that. I don't expect Jared Stidham to go out and fall down. I think he should be able to run the offense at a reasonable level. I just don't think it's that great of an offense to begin with.
Well, that makes sense to me. Which your confidence makes sense to me if I know you're thinking that way.
I have to go soon, so I just on that note, I thing that don't overlook is that Pat Bryant and Troy Franklin might also not play in this game for Denver. So that's their number 2 and number 3 receivers. Troy Franklin injured his hamstring against Buffalo, and Pat Bryant is in concussion protocol. Missed most of the game actually last week. So Cortland Sutton's going to play. Marvin Mims is going to play, but Marvin Mims is really their kind of Pop Douglas. He's a kind of more of a situational player most of the time, a gadget guy. If they don't have Franklin, who's their second leading receiver on the team and is a really good
Franklin's
player.
a big loss.
And then Pat Bryant is a rookie who's kind of emerged as the third receiver down the stretch here for them. It's not just Bo Nix. Now we're talking about taking, imagine if the Patriots are going into this game without, Diggs and Booty, and they're relying on Efton Chisholm and they're relying on Kyle Williams. That's kind of where Denver might be, along with not having their starting quarterback. So when you take all these pieces out of an offense that was already kind of middling, it really is bleak.
Ryan's in Virginia. Hey, Ryan. Ryan.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
All right. I was on mute. Sorry. So this would probably be a better catch-22 topic, but I'm on my lunch now, so I'm here. So the Broncos blitzed at a 31.9% rate, according to stats. They led the league in sacks, being extremely aggressive, but the Texans were a lot lower at a 21.9% rate, relying on a lot of 4-man rushes with some stunts, but really just mostly Will Anderson and Daniil Hunter going to just go win their battles. Statistically, Drake May is one of the best quarterbacks in the league versus the blitz this year. I'm really thinking the offense is actually going to be much better equipped for this specific matchup than they were for the Texans, despite them both being great defenses. But I wanted more of a ball knower thought on this.
Yeah, that makes sense to me, but we'll let Evan address it.
I mean, I kind of talked about this earlier in the show. This to me is a very chaotic Denver defense. This is more of a defense that likes to spin it and cook it up and blitz, as the caller said, and all that kind of stuff. The Texans defense is a 4-man rush. They sit in their coverage. They kind of do what they do. They just win with pure talent and with sound system and scheme. So it's a very different challenge. I would say this one's closer to probably what they saw with the Chargers than what they saw with Houston. The blitz stuff, I think, is kind of interesting because they run a lot of simulated pressures and stuff like that where they're dropping guys off the line of scrimmage and then blitzing from the linebackers usually. So like, even though they technically are blitzing, and we can get into that minutia again, they are somewhat maintaining their coverage structure by dropping guys out of the rush. So I don't know if it's like truly a blitz. It's a really fun defense. And a lot of the times, like I was saying on Catch 22, it's actually like kind of hard to understand what they're in. Like it's very disguise heavy and exotic. So it's going to be one of those defenses where, unlike Houston's was like, you just have to make plays.
Yeah.
Like, can we block our guys? Can they block these guys? And can we make plays on the outside?
For me, it's the personnel. I just think that Houston's personnel is light years better than Denver's personnel.
I would say they're edge guys. You know, Benito's a good player, but
he's not.
I didn't
say they stink.
He's
Patrick
not Will
Surtain's
Anderson.
probably better than both Stingley and Lassiter.
Yeah.
But I just don't think, as a whole, it's anywhere near as talented.
Yeah, I think it was 2 callers ago asked like who's like the weak link. Riley Moss is the weak link in their secondary. He's been targeted 119 times this year because he's playing on the other side of Patrick Surtain.
What's his win rate?
So they're not gonna want to. You know, nobody wants to throw at Pat Surtain, so they're all throwing at Riley Moss. He also leads the league in defensive pass interference calls this year as well. So he's the one guy that if you can get Booty or you can get Kyle Williams on him on the outside, that maybe they could hunt and win that.
Do we have
matchup.
a line on who the ref crew is?
I think we do know who the refs
are. What's his name? We just have
whoever it is. What are their tendencies?
So I don't know about the penalties, but this guy is 4-0 with Denver this year or something like that, and he's also 2-0 with the Patriots. So he's never lost.
These types of trends that crack
Something
me up.
has
like,
to give then.
What's the guy's name? Why can't I remember
the
now?
home underdogs and spreads and records in Denver and records with their like none of this stuff. You all think this stuff matters? Like
listen,
I do think the tendencies handsy like pass interference guys. I think that those kinds of crews.
I'm not talking
matter.
about that. I'm talking about more like Denver's 4-0 with this. Official.
No, that doesn't matter.
A former head coach from this team used to always make note of who the refs are.
Sure.
What are their tendencies?
I'm not talking about that. Alex Kemp.
Oh, Alex Kemp.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about teams' records with those refs. I'm not talking about.
I agree with you. That does not matter, especially when he's undefeated, refereeing both teams' games.
Yeah, but how they call a game matters.
Yes, 100%, no doubt.
When we played New Orleans, the ref was from LSU. Did you know that?
I didn't know that, but this feels like a stretch department.
That also doesn't matter. That would be another one in your category. Whether or not that he had, like, say, I don't know, $500,000, deposited into his checking account that week, that would matter to me because I'm not taking that off the table for that guy. That New Orleans game.
I was gonna say maybe it was an LSU thing because
Joe Murray.
That was one of the most ridiculous penalties I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yep, ridiculous.
I'm always out of my mind until the Patriots are on the other end of one of those calls, and then everybody's with me. Now you're with me, Pop.
Let's go to Colorado. It's Ann. Is this Ann Stone?
Has to be.
This is Ann Stone. How are you guys?
Good. How you doing, Ann?
Let me hear this accent, Ann. I'm here for it.
Ann leads up the Pikes Peak Pats Club. What's going on out there, Ann?
Well, I've missed you, Fred. I'm glad I'm going to get to see you, or at least I hope I get to see you.
Well, I won't be there for the start. I'll probably come by later.
Oh, okay. That's good. That'll be great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, who thought? I mean, like everybody else, I was like, oh, just give us a winning season. So all of a sudden, as we got closer, I thought, oh, my God, I'm going to have to throw a party.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
So we got Jackson's Lodo, which is a really great sports bar across the street from Coors Field. I've been working with the Kraft Fan Engagement Group, Abigail and Jeff, fabulous people. They're going to do sports, Patriots All Access live show up on the rooftop of Jackson's, and right where we're having our party. So that's a free fan rally. They'll have Pat Patriot and the cheerleaders, and I know Dave Andrews is going to be there. I think Mike Reese, almost positive Mike Reese is going to be there.
Yeah, Adam Vinatieri's going to be there too.
So Mike Reese definitely will be there. He's part of the All Access show. He will be there.
Oh,
Yep.
yes. Well, are you serious about Adam Vinatieri?
Yes.
Are you
Yeah,
serious?
I am.
Yes.
Future Pro Football Hall of Famer.
Mother of God.
Yeah. Mother of
That
God.
is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Greatest accent ever.
She lives in
Yeah.
Colorado.
Yeah, but she's from
Well, I'm
here.
a High Park girl.
Yeah, she's from
Yeah,
Hyde
Hyde
Park.
Park.
Oh, okay.
Hyde Park. Yeah. So
Yeah,
how many people are in your club these days?
Well, between we had COVID, then bar closed.
Uh-oh.
Before, yeah, and then Tom left, and you sort of got to know who were the diehards.
Yeah.
And who, So I'd say we're maybe 80, 90.
Okay. All right.
Still good. That's
Yeah.
a good
Good number.
size.
I got a feeling it's going to
In
grow.
Denver?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that Vrabel and May are
good.
on the team, you're going to
Absolutely.
get your numbers back up.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I used to be 300-400.
I know.
Yeah.
Mine always goes up and down because of the 5 military bases. Like
Right.
if you live in, I don't know, wherever, you have a steady, if you have, 80 fans in the town, then that's what you have. Mine goes up, it goes down because of who gets stationed at one of our 5 military bases. So
Right, because you're out in Colorado Springs, actually, right?
Yes, I'm
Yeah.
in the Springs, but we were the very first club in the state, so that's why we always have hosted. I mean, you've been to, I think, almost every one, Fred.
Yeah, I know. Lately, I've been bad luck, but we're going to break that curse. Yeah,
Well, let's hope we can break the high altitude curse.
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
All right. Well, Ann,
anyway.
I can't wait to be out there. See you on Saturday night. Have fun, and
Yep.
thanks for calling in.
Have a great
Thanks, Ann.
party, and I'm
Have fun.
sorry I'm going to miss it.
You got a prediction before you go?
Pain.
Oh, I think it's us all the way.
Yeah.
But I'm trying not to get cocky because of the old any Sunday rule,
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That impacts.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks a lot, Ann. I'll see you Saturday.
Have fun, Ann.
Thanks, Ann.
All right.
All right, thank you guys.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, I got to go. I
Okay.
didn't want to be rude and leave,
Yeah.
And I was,
The year that we played Denver, and then we had the game in Mexico. We spent the week
Colorado
at the Air
Springs,
Force
right?
Base,
Yeah.
and I actually had dinner over at Ann's house.
Oh.
We had a bunch of us over.
Oh.
It was great.
I bet I can envision that whole scene. I bet it was I bet it was a wonderful time.
It was. I think Eric Scalavino was with us.
He even went.
Oh yeah.
He was not behind the
I
velvet
believe
ropes
he
with
was
Andy
there.
Hart.
Yeah, I believe he was with us.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So I'll give you a couple of things. This is like and they're all kind of intangible kind of qualities, and you never know how teams are going to react, right?
Yeah, right.
So you want to be scared, we can be scared together.
Okay.
Okay. I don't think this is really much to be worried about, but I think Sean Payton is a terrific offensive coach. I think he has done a good job being able to. He's good for quarterbacks. I think he makes the reads pretty simple and whatnot. However, or as Ann would say, I think he's a bit of a choker in big games. I think the Saints.
Sean Payton is.
Yeah, I think the Saints traditionally
Perillo.
fell
Payton,
short.
a choker.
So why don't you listen?
Okay.
To the rest of this.
All right.
I'm going to give you the
Okay.
reasons to be scared.
Sorry.
I think that they have routinely with Drew Brees. Now, maybe it was because of Drew Brees. Maybe he was the choker, but the Saints fell short at home quite often. And that nuclear-powered offense didn't always play as well when the games were the most important. They had the one breakthrough when they beat the Colts, and I can't take that away from them.
I still say that had to do with Karina and, be nice for the city if they won.
Okay. But my point being is I think that they've had the best team in the NFC several times and found ways to lose. And there's some pressure that goes with that. Can't win the big one. Can't consistently come through. Now, here they are, the number one seed at home hosting the Patriots. If Bo Nix is healthy, the pressure's on Denver. Patriots are playing with all the house money.
Yeah.
The pressure's on Denver. Well, that completely went out the window. That whole mindset now, everybody expects Denver to lose. Everybody expects Sean Payton to be powerless to do really anything to help this guy who hasn't played a snap in over 2 years. So now it's the Broncos that have the house money. The pressure is on the Patriots.
Yep.
To win this game. They're 5.5-point favorites. They're supposed to win.
I would say the pressure has shifted.
So if you want to be afraid, I am not. I think the Patriots are going to win this game handily. Okay? We'll give our scores tomorrow, but that's the way I feel. Defense is playing too well. But if you want to be afraid, you want to allow yourself to think if you feel too confident it's going to impact the outcome of the game somehow, go right ahead. But that would be the one thing that I would be worried about. The Patriots have been able to use this talk about the Texans' defense last week. Well, what about our defense? Our defense isn't getting any respect. You don't have that this week.
Right.
Now it's
sure.
Let's make our arrangements for Santa Clara.
Now it's all Denver. Nobody believes in us.
Nobody believes in Denver. Everybody believes in the Patriots.
That's right.
How do the Patriots handle that?
That's right.
I don't have any concerns about it, but if you want to be afraid about something, I would be afraid about that. Do they get a little bit too comfortable and cocky reading their press clippings?
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
I don't have anything else for you because I don't think they can line up and beat you with a backup quarterback plan. Not the way the defense has played the first two playoff games.
Okay. Eldred's in North Carolina. What's up, Eldred?
Friday we got Vrabel.
Oh,
Hey,
let's go to Mike Vrabel. Hold on. We're going to put you on hold.
Know if you might be activating the window for Mac Collins?
That won't happen today, no.
Mike, just a thought on your team, 8-0 on the road. What kind of things did you learn about your team as a group that you could take into any road game, such as one like this?
We played a lot of different environments, and you got to take care of the football. You're going to have to try to find a way to, win in critical situations at the end of the half, at the end of the game, whether that's 5-minute or, I just think back to, defensively getting stops in Miami. We made a critical kick. Tampa Bay, we executed at the end of half, and, certain situations, 5-minute in New Orleans. So I think each game kind of has its own story, but you better take care of the football, especially in Denver.
Mike, following that up a little bit, what characteristics do players have to take that mentality on the road and be successful on the road?
I think we try to preach it through, the entire offseason and being able to establish an identity that travels, overcoming mistakes that happen in the game, which there always are. I think that you have to be resilient. There's going to be some swings and momentum. You're going to have to be able to handle the environment offensively and not put yourself in bad situations because, your operation isn't very good. So there's a lot of things that we try to practice, knowing that we're going to have to play half of our games on the road. I would anticipate him being out there probably in a limited capacity, but just working his way through protocol.
The Broncos allowed a season low, a league low, 23 sacks. What makes them so good?
The quarterback gets it out. They do a nice job with moving the pocket and different throws and not just standing back there. I think Sean and his staff has done a great job of, finding the balance of when to throw in the pocket and, 7-man protection sometimes on third down. And, and then again, when they don't, they block them. They do a nice job of blocking them on the edges, and, they try to stay firm in the middle.
Do you go back and look at Stidham's preseason stuff, or do you just kind of stick with what they do offensively and figure he'll do the same stuff?
Again, he's got, the snaps that he has, the 400 so snaps that are, in regular season action, and then they have a lot of snaps on what they want to do. So we'll have to be prepared for the plan and the things that they've shown. I'm sure there'll be some things that they haven't shown. He's more than capable to go out there and operate, and it's why he's a backup and one that was coveted around the league.
How much did you tap into Josh's knowledge of him? Obviously, he started a couple games for Josh in Vegas about, hey, this is what he likes, this is what he doesn't like.
I think every week we try to use every resource that we have at our disposal. Josh coached him a couple years ago, so anything that we have that we can use to help us, we'll try.
Mike, you've been big on that no
naps message this year? How do you make sure your defense doesn't take a nap against the backup quarterback who hasn't played in a while?
I think this is a pretty motivated group. I just think to try to continue to play together with the speed that they have the last couple weeks, and I'm confident that they'll remain excited and ready to go.
Mike, you brought in Ashton Grant for this season as your quarterbacks coach. I'm wondering what you've seen from him, how he's developed Drake, and did you cross paths with him in Cleveland last year?
Yeah, I worked with Ashton in Cleveland. I got to evaluate him every day and what he did in Cleveland. And, I think it's a good balance between him and Josh, and Josh was really excited for us to be able to add. Ashton was in on those interview processes that we had for the quarterback coach, and I think Ashton really fit his vision that he had. First year in the system, it's going to be, Josh is going to have a heavy role in that, but also I'll go in there and Ashton will be meeting with these guys situationally, and I think it is a good balance between him and Josh and how long Josh has done it, and maybe the newness and the youngness of Ashton is a nice little balance.
Like Mac Hollins practice today?
No, I would not anticipate. Karen, you just have to talk louder so they hear your question. I would not anticipate Mac being out there.
Mike, you're not afraid to jump in drills from time to time with the guys. Is there a part of you as a player who's played in big games like this, is there a part of you that deep down misses the physicality of the sport?
Nope. Nope. Every day I wake up, I'm glad that I don't have to practice or play.
Mike, considering going back to Milt Williams, the decision to sign him, identifying him as a potential main piece here in the defense, can you talk about that early thought of going after him, and then now that he's been here, you could, I'm assuming he's met all expectations, if not more.
Again, you try to, free agency is always funny. We knew we needed to supplement the roster, and targeted some guys, got some guys, didn't get some guys, and was excited to add Milt, the person, quality person, and I think the play speaks for itself. We have high expectations for everybody, but certainly Milt, and it's good to have him back out there, and it's helped in a lot of phases, a lot of areas in the run game. It had some really nice plays last week and affecting the quarterback, and we talked about on the interception return that his push kind of started it, knocking the guy back into the tight end. So, we'll need everybody, including Milt. We'll need their best efforts this week, and again, that's kind of where it went last year. And you target guys, and some guys you get, some guys you don't.
Mike, when you're dealing with rookies and younger players who maybe aren't used to the bright lights of the stage of an AFC Championship, how do you prepare them? Do you rely on some veterans to talk with younger guys?
I mean, they're 2 more games experienced in the playoffs than they were 2 weeks ago. So, just try to play well and prepare and enjoy it.
Mike, is there anything different that you're doing here this week, preparing for the altitude, and as it pertains to special teams as well? Anything that changes your game plan heading into Sunday?
Well, I'm sure we'll have to figure out how far Andy can kick with the altitude, and then, just being good with where we're going to put the kickoffs, and, Marcus is going to have to adjust where he aligns based on where the ball travels, and, but I'm confident that everybody's going to be ready to go, and, hopefully we can force him to punt and give Marcus some opportunities.
Loud enough on that one. For Drake, in these last 2 games, he's had a few turnovers. How do you go about just addressing that with him and working on ball security, especially against now facing Denver?
Same way I do all the time. So just, we have to be able to not get careless with the football. We can't be reckless. And a lot of it is operation. I mean, we had 2 turnovers where, we all weren't on the same page. And not only is it, that's, you could have a negative play if you don't have everybody on the same page, but even worse, you lose the football. Or if you don't have somebody on the same page and they blitz, somebody gets hurt. So, those are the things we talk about when we're not on the same page. So I think the operation is going to be critical.
Like, understanding every season, every team is different. Are there any lessons you took from 6 years ago leading a team on the road into the AFC Championship game that might help you this week or on Sunday?
No, I mean, you're going to have to do what we talked about. You're going to have to be able to execute in some critical situations, some third downs. There's going to be some third downs that we're going to have to convert, and it's going to be some stops that we're going to have to be able to make. And then I think the turnovers and taking advantage of your scoring opportunities in the red zone.
Mike, in your messaging to players, do you lean into the opportunity of now in the AFC Championship game, or do you try to keep things fairly similar to what you've done throughout the course of the season?
No, I mean, I think it's similar to what we've done. I mean, it's focus on, what we want the team to try to do, and then offensively, defensively, and special teams, things that we think are important. Go about practicing them and making sure that everybody's ready. First and second down today. We'll get third down tomorrow. On and on into the red zone. So, we just have to, again, I'm focused on embracing the preparation and enjoying this entire experience.
What makes the Denver pass rush so talented, other than the obvious?
They're good. They're good. They got speed rushers. Zach Allen, I think, led the league in quarterback hits, and he's as athletic of a player inside as you'll find. And that's a tough combination when he's coming inside, and then they can't step up. And Benito and Coop, they keep coming. And they do a nice job blitzing. Vance does a nice job blitzing, but they have good personnel. And then when they don't, they get the different pressures. So, we'll have to be ready for the base guys that are in there, and then any pressures that are going to come off of it.
What have you seen? Is there a need to work against the silent count or extra pressure in trying to deal with that crowd noise and get everybody on the same page this week? Have you dealt with it much this year?
We've worked a silent count. We've worked a silent count, throughout the season. We've worked it when we weren't necessarily going on the road, just trying to figure that we would need to. We went through that stretch of home games, so I can, there were games that we were just focused on saying, hey, let's just do it today, just to work on it, so that we can have it when we need it, and then we'll certainly need it this week.
Mike, you can't speak for everyone on the roster, but do you get the feeling that the team enjoys playing on the road?
Probably when we win, they enjoy it. Yeah, I enjoy it too.
Mike, your defensive tackles have made a lot of impact plays during the playoffs. Can you speak to the performance of that group, and also if it's allowed you to be more flexible schematically now that they're healthier?
I don't think the schematics of it really change much. I think that, we have high expectations. Our best players have to play good. But I think that the Durtins, the Lenny T's, the Tongas, those guys stepping in have really done a nice job. And, so we have to continue to get some impact from that group, like we have the last couple weeks. Thank you.
All right, we're back, and Vrabel is done. I guess for me, the two headlines are that Davis will be out there in a limited capacity as he works through the concussion protocol, and he doesn't expect Hollins to be out there.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if that changes as the week goes on. But yeah, probably not a great sign for his availability Sunday if he's not going to open the practice window today. But it
Why do you think that is?
He's probably not ready.
Yeah, so if he's not like you said, if he's not
that's
ready,
what I'm saying. So
yeah.
it'd be my guess.
I don't know what one day's going to do.
Unless there's some other, I don't know, some personal thing or whatever reason it's not health related.
Yeah,
but my guess is Mike would say that look, he won't be out there today, but we will have him tomorrow or something like that.
Yeah.
With Davis, I think it's probably tracking to him playing like it was with Gonzo last week. He'll be out there more than likely in a red jersey today as the first step of clearing through the protocol process. So that's a good sign because I think they need the secondary to be at full strength.
Yeah, but would have loved to seen Hollins out. Now, I'm not ruling him out, but I have my doubts here.
I agree, and I think that there is some value to him in the run game, and people have talked about they looked like they were maybe a little vulnerable to the run. It would have been nice to have him available.
Yeah. Let's get Eldred back on the phone.
Yeah.
You still there, Eldred?
Yes, sir, Fred. How you doing, Paul?
Good. Thanks for holding on.
Glad to, because I love hearing Vrabel talk.
Yeah.
Gonna be one of my second favorite coach. But Paul, I
Yes, sir.
understand everybody optimism, but it's that last little comment that Peyton said when he came out there and said Bo Nick's going, and said don't count out Stidham, and he started laughing. And then went on. I understand he's a backup. He ain't played in a couple of years, and I saw that game against when he was with the Raiders. He played against the 49ers, and he picked him apart, but they didn't win it, but they came close.
Yeah.
But only thing that's worrying me is how Campbell and Will got their butt kicked these two playoff games, and they coming up with another form of a defense just like that. But they got somebody in the middle too there to come up and close off the middle, just like you just heard Vrabel say, So and then hold on to the ball, and I don't understand Henderson. Sometimes he has some good games, and sometimes he just run with the crowd instead of using his eyes. And my boy Williams, I just wish he'd get on track for one darn game.
Yeah.
Especially when you need him.
Yep.
But other than that, I'm picking us, but I think it's going to be like 28-24.
Uh-oh.
Because of the defense.
Okay.
Because of the defense, because of the offensive line. That's what I'm looking at.
All right.
I understand some of those
if
things.
If the Patriots score 28, I'm good.
I think we'll all be yawning in the second half, waiting for the ceremony.
Well, I don't know about
the trophy ceremony.
But I'm going to feel good if we get 28. Yep.
I'll feel really good.
Yeah, me too.
And I think they're going to. I agree with Eldred. I think the offense is going to be better this week against the defense that is kind of trending the wrong way.
All right.
In Denver.
Thanks, Eldred. Eldred checking in. Gregory from Delaware writes in, and his subject line, Paul, I like these.
Is he finger wagging me?
Patriots players no one is talking enough about. Sounds like a YouTube.
Okay. I'm gonna guess that I'm gonna disagree with this.
Okay. I just wanted to give a quick shout out to Ramondre Stevenson and Craig Woodson, as they have both been excellent in the last two playoff games, but I feel the media hasn't given them enough credit.
Yeah.
Ramondre has just been so reliable in every aspect recently, and I really believe Woodson is blossoming into a star before our eyes.
Yeah, I figured I would disagree with those two guys have been asked about quite frequently. I believe we heard from Craig Woodson on Monday. He was one of the three players that they made available to the media. And Stevenson has been on a heater for about 6 weeks and has been getting a lot of accolades. But, yeah, I would agree. Stevenson, I think, has been an instrumental part of the offense.
Yep.
Down the stretch.
Ishan's in Boston. What's up?
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Good.
So I had a question about something you guys talked about a bit earlier in the game or in the show with Evan, where as long as something crazy doesn't happen and there isn't a turnover fest, if it's a conventional game, that it's hard to see a path for Denver to win. And I agreed with that, and I thought that basically before today's show as well. But then I started remembering the Rams Super Bowl, and there weren't a lot of turnovers in that game either. I remember it was one each for both teams. So I don't see why this game – I was wondering what your guys' thoughts are on why this game can't unfold similarly, as if the Patriots can't move the ball and Stidham doesn't turn it over that much, why it can't just be a stalemate right till the end?
Yeah, I mean, it very well could be.
I don't think that Denver's defense is capable of doing what the Rams did. I don't think they're anywhere near as good as that Rams defense.
Gotcha.
Like Aaron Donald?
Yeah, I just wanted to get your thoughts.
And that crew?
Yeah.
Like, that was a good defense.
Mm-hmm.
It was very good defense.
Right.
Yep.
Sure.
Now, again, please don't.
Thanks, Ishan.
I'm setting. I guess I did this to myself. I'm setting myself up to get blot again, but it's just my feelings. I don't. I'm looking at Denver, right? And everybody was talking, and I look at the beginning of the year, 12 points, 23 points, 3 points, 17 points, 11 points, 24 points, 15 points, 7 points. They played really well for a lot of the season. Then as it kind of kicked it down the stretch, 26 points, 17 points, 26 points, 34 points. Then 13-3 against the Chiefs without Mahomes with that third string quarterback, and the Chargers without Herbert with that backup in Trey Lance. Then they faced another quarterback, and it was 30, against Buffalo. I'm not telling you that the Broncos don't have a good defense. They do have a good defense. I don't think it's anywhere near as good as the one you just saw.
Okay.
And I know that they're similarly rated.
But early success skewed it.
Yeah, and I think they also got skewed against the Chris. What was the kid's name from Kansas City? Aludikin, something.
You asking me?
Oladukin, something like that. And then Trey Lance. Yeah, I mean, you allowed 16 points to those guys in 2 games combined.
Yeah.
That helps your numbers. Again, Nick Bonino, really good player. I don't think that we will be looking at this at the end and saying, wow, it was like 2015. The Broncos defense just completely dictated the way the game unfolded and dominated the Patriots. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
That was historic defense to me. I don't think this Broncos team has the capability of doing that.
Jamie from Carlow, Ireland. When I wrote to you in September about the birth of my son, I never imagined we would be in the AFC Championship game and favorites to make the Super Bowl. Deuce, I'm sorry for not trying sooner. Just a quick note. I heard Daniel Jeremiah's skepticism about the Patriots' aggressiveness on defense as he loved to abuse screens, or maybe the Broncos abuse screens. Are you guys worried about that at all, or would you still be aggressive with Stidham under center?
So I would not be as aggressive with the blitzing as they have been, because I would force Jarrett Stidham to beat me conventionally first and show that he can. I wouldn't want to give him anything easy if the offensive line picks up a stunt or a blitz here or there, and all of a sudden you give an extra second to throw than more than what Herbert or Stroud had, and all of a sudden there were some plays in those 2 games, especially I thought the Houston game where I think it was Xavier Hutchinson, who had a really rough game for the Texans, was, kind of breaking open late. And then you look and, the Stroud was, either not seeing it right or hurrying a throw. I think he was affected by the pressure all day. Herbert had a couple with Ladd McConkey, in that game too. I wouldn't want to give, if the Broncos offensive line is as good as advertised, I wouldn't want to give Stidham any wider open windows than need to be. Like Evan said, put some zones out there. See if he throws one to you.
Yeah.
And try to play it that way.
Joe backs up exactly what you were just saying earlier about the early defensive successes. Joe in Michigan, those who watch Denver closely, Schlereth, him.
He's out there.
Says Broncos D has been leaking since November, and Patriots will be able to both run and pass against them. Since November 30th, they are giving up 26.6 points per game, excluding Kansas City and Chargers, both who played backup quarterbacks. Buffalo had their way, and only unforced errors kill them. I will take our tandem of running backs over Cook and his fumbles. Patriots 27, Broncos 10. So Matt Schlereth says they've been leaking.
Yeah, I agree. It's like there was a time during this season where, and Fred Toucher on the Sports Hub was one of the first to start trumpeting Denver. And, everyone was like, oh, you don't want to face that defense. You definitely don't want to face that defense in Denver. But, so, you start to see them a little bit, and you're like, this is the defense, the one that Marcus Mariota went down the field at the end of regulation to send the game into overtime and then fell behind by a touchdown and then went right down the field again in overtime and scored another touchdown. This is that defense I'm supposed to be afraid of. Again, it's a good group. I don't think it's that good. I know you don't really like that phrase. They're not that good means like they stink. I'm not saying they stink. I'm saying they're not elite.
Tim in Boston, going to use some logic on us here, Paul. The Chargers defense is better than the Patriots defense, and Drake May played better than Justin Herbert.
I don't think the Chargers defense is better than the Patriots defense right now. So
flaw right away.
I reject the premise.
The Texans defense is better than the Patriots defense, and Drake May played better than C.J. Stroud.
That I would agree with.
Okay.
I think the Texans defense was better than the Patriots defense on Sunday, and I thought the Patriots defense was outstanding Sunday.
The fumbles have to go, but your quarterback outplayed the opposing quarterback against a better defense, and that's a big part of why you won. So
it's not. The defense is why you won both of those games.
Yep.
your quarterback outplayed the other team's quarterback, who both played really, really poorly. So that's a low
Our
bar.
quarterback didn't stink like their quarterback did.
Like the performances of the Patriots defense and the Houston defense were much closer than what C.J. Stroud did compared to any other quarterback. Like, that was bad. 4 interceptions in the first half of a playoff game. I don't think it ever happened before. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, to say that May outplayed him, yeah.
He had 3 more plays.
But I mean, I would say that, yes, it's true. Like, he outplayed him, but he didn't play well. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
He didn't play well in either game, really.
It's hard to read this one. Cameron in Dallas. Brady had 59 fumbles in his first 6 seasons in the NFL. After that, it took another 12 years for Brady to reach 59 fumbles. What can May do to reduce the number of fumbles? Wear gloves like Brady, deflate the ball for better grip like Brady? Oh, he's joking. We need to blow. Yes, he said, I'm joking.
Is he?
Yes. We need to blow out Denver to leave no doubt in anyone's mind that Bo Nix could never have won the game for them. Patriots 31, Denver 13.
So I'm just going to set you up for disappointment.
No matter what.
There's no amount of points they can win this game by, and to get anybody who thinks the Broncos would have won with Bo Nix to change their mind. I'm sorry. That's not going to happen.
Right. They're going to hold that against us. But don't worry about it.
I don't know why that would bother you.
We'll be in the Super Bowl.
While you're in Santa Clara, I don't know why you would continue to listen to that kind of noise and have it affect you, but you do you.
Let's see. Quig in Taunton. A few quick points. What a difference a year makes. Who would have thought we'd be in this position? Nobody's made that point before. It's important that people.
Now you're being mean.
It's important that people stop criticizing Will Campbell. He is a 22-year-old playing through a knee injury on his plant leg. Since he's clearly not 100%, Josh needs to provide him with some additional help. And finally, we have not lost a game this year when Milton Williams, Spillane, and Gonzalez have been in the lineup together. We haven't also lost a game with Drake May under center. Or that's not true. We lost 3 games.
Well, how could you possibly have said that?
I don't know.
So the helping Will Campbell thing, I'm just telling you what Will Campbell said after the game. Did you see this? Will Campbell felt like the help hurt him. Like he felt like he was
dependent on it.
No, he felt like he didn't play as well when he was getting the help. And I brought up the possibility that he's not at 100% right now. I said that yesterday. I don't say that as an excuse. If you're out there playing, you have to play. Like this whole 22-year-old rookie thing on a bad light, he's playing. So you have to evaluate how he plays.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And he hasn't played well.
Matt writes in about the fumbling again. He's wondering if Drake should try the offhand glove that Brady ended up adopting. Tom had 36 fumbles in his first 3 years. So it seems like it was an issue for him as well until he figured it out.
Yeah. So I would say that the fumbles that May has in general are not like glove related. Yeah. They're when he's trying to hold on to the ball and he gets it knocked out of his hands while he's throwing. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, he hasn't had a lot like he brings the ball down and puts 2 hands on it and it gets knocked out of his hands. He's had them when he's trying to extend plays and, like the case on Sunday with one of them when he drifted over to the right side and was getting pushed into as he threw it and the guy knocked it out from behind. Like, I don't think gloves are going to be the savior there. Now, I do agree that is something that you can improve, and Brady did.
Yeah.
All the people that are giving you Brady numbers.
But a lot of that is pocket awareness.
Right. But that's, to me, where it starts and kind of ends.
Yep.
It's not about, gloves.
Right. Another fan club notice. Big Facebook group called Patriots Nation Natty, N-A-T-I, in Cincinnati.
Nice.
Meets in Cincinnati every weekend for the games. You have to join the group to get the address. The admin is from Mass and makes a big metal jug of clam chowder. So if you're in Cincinnati, check out the Facebook group called Patriots Nation Natty, N-A-T-I, and find out where they're meeting if you want to be with
Good stuff,
like-minded
guys.
Patriots fans. Okay? Let's get back to the phones. Let's go to Darren in Delaware. What's up, Darren? Darren, you there?
Yeah, I'm right here.
Hello.
Sorry to bother you.
You guys call Fred. I've called several times in the past. We had some iconic conversations. I haven't called since the Brady years. I actually let somebody get to me, like one of the other callers or emailers, told me I wasn't a Patriot fan, lost my mind. I don't know if you guys remember, I said I missed Andy, and now I just know I missed the arguments.
Yeah.
But now that we're back and we're going to win another Super Bowl, I was just thinking eventually they're going to say that Drake May is better than Tom Brady because he'll have did something that Tom Brady never did. I really just love you guys and wanted to talk to you. And what do you think about what I've asked you? Thank you.
Okay.
What if he is?
Yeah. I don't know.
Do you rule it out?
Who?
Drake May is better than Tom Brady? I mean, obviously we need 20 years to wait.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I mean,
like I'm not a big thing on like we'll never see another fill in the blank again.
Yeah.
I'm not big on those.
In terms of just raw talent, he's better. But what we don't know is, does he have it up here? Does he have that?
Yeah.
I mean, that.
Does he have consistency?
Yeah, consistency. But that, I don't know what word you'd use to describe it. But
Drive?
Brady just didn't want to lose, and he was so good when the stage was the biggest and the moments were the biggest. We don't know that yet from Drake May, and what Brady had, we had never seen before. So,
but there's been more.
It's going to be,
like I said,
talent-wise, he's got amazing.
But
talent.
I'm just going to talk about what he's done, and again, we need 20 years before we can, aptly make a comparison.
Yeah.
But
tell me the
Super Bowls offense that, let's say the Patriots win these two games and they win the Super Bowl. Okay, the offense has had a much bigger imprint on this title in his second year as a starter than it did in 01 with Brady. Now, I'm not telling you Brady didn't have anything to do with that title, but he was great when he had to be. He was great with games on the line and comebacks and whatnot. But that was a defensive-oriented team, and that's how they won every game.
Right. But at the end of the game against the Rams, he was leading that drive.
There was a lot of times, but the reason why he was able to lead the drive is because the Rams only had 17 points.
Right. Yep.
So I would say the offense has been a more important part of this team's success than it was in 01. That doesn't mean he's better than Brady.
No.
But again, I don't like saying, well, no, there'll never be another Tom Brady again. Yeah, there probably will be.
Right.
Just like no one will ever do what the Patriots did for 20. Yeah, someone probably will. Like, it's just the way sports work.
People probably said no one's going to go on to, do what Montana did.
Right.
And then Brady outdid him. So there's always going to be some, it just depends on how long you have to wait for it.
Yeah, and we may not see it.
Right.
In our lifetimes. Would I put Drake May's odds being very good to surpass Brady? No, I wouldn't. I think what Brady did was different. It just was, 7 titles.
We shouldn't go this show without mentioning how tightly shut the window is now in Buffalo.
So I'm with Fred now. There was a press conference in Buffalo this morning with Terry Pegula, the owner of the Bills, and Brandon Beane, the charlatan that is cozied up to said owner, and somehow convinced the owner that the Bills had a lot of talent this year.
Nothing to see here.
And that it was all that idiot coach's fault. And I now agree with Fred that kind of dysfunction, window is shut. I'm with Fred.
Wow.
And I'm not.
It only took 10 years.
I'm not doing that for effect. I'm not trying to, have a big, funny moment here. If you haven't heard, if you haven't seen some of the stuff that came out of Buffalo this morning, and you're a Patriots fan and you love the schadenfreude of the rivals sort of, falling apart, do yourself a favor and spend 5 minutes looking up some of the quotes that came out of the Bills today, and they will make you feel better about the Patriots and where you are and where the Bills are likely headed. They basically said that Sean McDermott was the reason why they drafted Keon Coleman. One of those things. Instead of the 3 other options they had that they traded out of spots for, all that they kept saying was Pegula kept taking Bean's side and saying they had the talent to win. And I'm sorry, if you watched football this year and you thought Buffalo was anywhere near as talented this year as they have been the last 5, you just don't know what you've watched. And somehow the general manager convinced the owner that was the coach's fault, that they didn't have the options to go to. I just astounded by it. It was some eye-opening stuff. It's the age-old thing. The GM sits next to the owner while the games are going on, and every time something goes bad, he's there to tell you he's not using the players right, or he's not getting the most out of that guy, or this should really be better. It's I'm telling you, it's the definition of one of those dysfunctional situations, and it's not. They're going to be in trouble. They're going to be in trouble unless they turn around, they spend some money in the offseason, and they improve that roster dramatically, because they're not good enough right now. If they think they're good enough and they sit on their hands and they just think a new coach is going to get them farther, it ain't going to happen.
I want to get a billboard in Buffalo.
I will open the window back up.
All it's going to be is a big bare ass with a Patriots logo on it, because that's what the Bills are going to be looking at for the next 10 years.
I will open the window back up based on an offseason that is productive. If they want to do what the Patriots did last offseason and sign a half dozen or so quality free agents, I'll sit here and say, hey, Brandon Beane, I was wrong. He recognized that they didn't have the talent. What I heard today was 2 guys that think that they were good enough to go further than they did in these playoffs. They had 1 guy who was good enough to go further than he did. And unfortunately for Josh Allen, he picked the wrong day to have a bad game.
Yeah.
But and it's on him. They lost the game because of Josh Allen. That's why they lost. That's unfair. That 1 guy.
But the only chance they had was Josh Allen.
That's it. That's the only reason why they were in the game.
Right. So there you go. There's your Bills update. So we can all blah the Bills.
Yeah.
Bill in Santa Monica. I've got another reason to be nervous. A few weeks ago, there was an article about Bill Belichick's terrible 2025. In there, they decided the resurgence of Mac Jones as a quarterback that Bill couldn't develop and now looks fairly capable. What if Stidham has an amazing game and continues Belichick's horrible year into 2026? Could someone please hand me that straw? I'm having a hard time grasping it. Okay. So I guess he's, I mean,
I don't know.
I do know that when Stidham was here, a lot of people were like, hey, this kid's not bad. And then he had some incidents in the preseason with.
Can you name a player that the Patriots media didn't say was good?
Oh, yeah. I mean.
How long did it take before people said N'Keal Harry wasn't any good?
But it's not like this guy was they drafted him in the 4th round.
Yeah, so he's a Jag. He's a day 3 pick.
Well, 4th round for a quarterback
is stiff.
On a team with Tom Brady, you have to see something in him.
No, they were looking for a backup developmental guy.
Okay.
They took him.
All right. They felt he could be developed.
Right.
But they didn't develop him. They put him in the doghouse.
So you know who else didn't develop him?
Who?
Josh McDaniels.
Well.
He had him.
Well, I'm just saying.
And he couldn't start there either.
I'm just saying maybe he's a little better than.
I agree with you, Email. Grasping at straws.
Maybe he's a little better than people think. We don't know. We'll find out.
7 years.
We're going to find out on Sunday.
7 years.
Sean's in Vancouver.
4 starts.
What's up, Sean?
I have a few things, Fred. So, no coach outside of Denver knows Jarrett Stidham better than Josh McDaniels. Like you just said, he had him in Vegas as well. So, he might be in the top 40 of NFL quarterbacks. I see the Patriots stopping the run again and forcing Stidham into obvious passing situations, which will favor New England. Now, Paul, you were talking about how the Patriots broke the AFC with all these teams changing their head coach and what's going on in Buffalo and all this craziness. But, Vrabel might be the coach of the year. So many teams see the Pats' quick turnaround and want to copy that approach. But the real fool's gold is thinking you can also achieve that same success, because it's more than just hiring the best head coach. You also need to hire excellent, experienced assistant coaches. All your free agent acquisitions hit. All 11 draft picks make the team with some big contributions.
You're making it out to be way different than it is. Like a lot of teams do it. Like the NFL is set up in a way that this happens all the time, and it happened all the time this year. It happened in other places this year.
Yeah,
like you can do it. I mean, Washington just did it 2 years ago. Jacksonville just did it this year. Like the Patriots have done it.
The Bears.
The Bears have done it. Like it's the way it's set up. I agree with the owners for thinking it can happen because it happens all the time. That's like if you have a guy that you don't think is the guy, what you need to do is make a change and find a guy that you think is the guy.
Yeah.
Like it's not easy. I'm not telling you these coaches grow on trees. They don't. There's a lot of guys that fail, but no one was talking about Liam Cohen last year. At this time, no one was saying, "Oh, Jacksonville really made this quality." But all of a sudden, he took them from worst to first, or third to worst, third to first.
Not to this extent.
Like
this is just
it was to this extent. Yeah, it was.
Like I mean,
Chicago did the same thing, worst to first.
But 4 wins 2 years in a row to like 14 wins. That I don't think that's ever happened.
To 14 wins, no. But 4 wins to 12 wins just happened. I mean, is that not the same?
Yeah. I mean, the Bears were the number 1 seed in the NFC. So it can happen. It happened last year with the Commanders. So and the league is set up that way. But I do agree, Sean, a little bit that, teams do look at whoever is the team that had success, and it's a copycat league.
Correct.
It's a very copycat league.
And they try to do the same kind of style.
Yeah.
Now, what I'll say for you, Sean, is they think it's easy. It ain't easy to have Drake May.
Oh, no. No,
so that's the part that geez, we got this young coach. We got this guy that does everything like Vrabel does. And then we went out and we got, a half dozen really good free agents. Why isn't it working? Because you don't have Drake May. That's why.
Yeah, you need that quarterback too. Now, the question I have is, the Patriots are the only team undefeated on the road this season. Now, does that give them confidence going into Denver, or is the playoffs just completely different and you throw that out the window?
I think it does, because I've heard more than one player say, we're taking it on the road where we've had success. Drake May said it. I think their success on the road does give them confidence to go on the road and do it again.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, go Pat.
All right. Thanks, Sean.
Thanks, Sean.
Yep. Let's go to Rhino in North Carolina. What's up, Rhino?
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
I've appreciated this discussion about kind of ownership and other teams around the league. And a lot of this stuff with the Bills has made me appreciate what we've had here even more. Obviously, in the past, Robert Kraft made the bold decision to move on from Pete Carroll, who's been a very successful coach in this league, goes with Bill Belichick, loses the first-round pick to do that, and then has the kind of boldness to move on from Belichick and then do what a lot of other owners don't in not compounding a mistake with the hiring of Jerron Mayo to move on to Mike Vrabel. And that's created a lot of the things that we have here, and I'm very grateful for that. And obviously the Patriots have been fortunate, and I'm hoping that continues because as we see, a lot of these other well-established franchises are in this kind of period of flux.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, certainly the decision to trade draft picks for Bill Belichick is as risky a choice as you can make.
Oh, he was widely criticized at the time.
I think that was as bold a move as you could possibly make. I'm not diminishing anything else. I think the other stuff to me is stuff that most teams would do. Like when you have a situation like last year here, and I'm not even talking about winning 4 games. I'm talking about the dysfunction that was in that locker room, the players constantly talking about how poorly coached they were. I think a lot of owners would have said, I made a mistake here. I got to do something about this. I got to move on.
Yep.
I really do. And I'm not trying to tell you that makes it easy what Robert Kraft did or anything like that. It ain't.
It was an easy, hard
Belichick
decision.
For all those draft picks, that's something I don't think a lot of teams, I don't think a lot of owners around the league would have said, Bill Belichick is worth those draft picks. I got to make this move. That one, to me, is Hall of Fame worthy.
Yeah.
That's why he's a Hall of Fame owner. But hopefully.
Chad in L.A., the danger zone here in this game is Mile High Stadium. Cold weather, altitude, those fans, This game is by no means a lock, no matter who's the quarterback. And wondering if Paul is rethinking his take on May being the reasons for the Patriots' success. Now with the playoffs playing out the way it is, Coach Mike is the creative director of this organization. Without that level of stability, how would May be doing? He couldn't handle all this early in his career, in my uneducated opinion. So does the same go for Bill and Brady? Thoughts? Talk amongst yourselves. So the early success of Drake May, when they do the Dynasty documentary, will Vrabel, get the credit for that early success, or will it be all Drake May?
I ain't making that mistake again. I'm going to give it to Drake May.
Okay.
I'm not. That doesn't mean that Mike Vrabel's not a good coach. He's a great coach.
Yep.
He's had a great year. Let's put it that way. He's had a great year coaching.
Yep.
But I went down this road. I gave all that credit to Belichick, and I was wrong.
Yep.
I'm not doing that again.
Jay and Indy, Vrabel said he's willing to sacrifice his man part for a Super Bowl on the Bussin' with the Boys podcast. Are you mentally ready to sacrifice yours for a Super Bowl?
Not me.
got 6, and mine don't work that well anymore anyway, so maybe I would. I don't know. So.
Freddie.
Let's go to Dan.
I'm not quite prepared to do that.
Let's go to Dan in Daytona. What's up, Dan?
Danny Daytona. Danny. There he is.
He gets drowned out by the cars going around.
Yeah.
What's up?
Keep an eye on that. It keeps going into the garage.
Okay.
So keep an eye on him. He keeps going into the garage, dumping trash into the recycle.
Okay. Is that it?
Bye. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
We never use the recycle, and I would never.
I don't think he's paying attention to us.
Oh, I think he just he might have just yelled at us. I don't know. Did you hear what he said? He said something and then he dropped the mic.
I think he was talking to somebody else.
Oh, well, he dropped.
I'm not sure he knew we were on.
Oh, really?
He was on, I should say.
Okay. Brett in Leominster wants to know. He said, "Fred, let me know when you start the GoFundMe page so I can contribute to the billboard in Buffalo." Will do. All right.
You're gonna do that?
Yeah, we're gonna get a big bare ass with the Patriots.
But you got to do it.
Yeah.
You have to.
This is what they're going to be staring at for the rest of their lives.
Tell me how it tastes.
Yep. All right. We're going to end now.
You had enough?
Yeah, I don't think Evan, unlike Deuce, Evan doesn't come back from the locker room.
No, he doesn't.
He gets immersed. He loses himself in there. Like
he
Eminem.
he just basically stands around Drake's locker and just stares at him.
Yeah.
Like, find some, the whole meme, find someone who looks at you the way Evan looks at Drake May.
Yep. All right. We will be back tomorrow on Thursday. Have no fear. We'll be wrapping up the week and doing our picks for the AFC Championship game. We got to hurry because we've got 2 big games that we have to pick. 2 big games. And
thoughts and prayers with Deuce. Hopefully we get him back tomorrow.
I know. I don't know. I hope this is like one of those 24-hour bugs. All right. Talk to you tomorrow.
Hey, this is Evan. Thanks for tuning into the show. If you really want to help us, make sure to like us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Also, make sure to follow on the New England Patriots YouTube channel to see this show and everything else we do here at the Patriots. Thanks a lot.